significance of the both dimensional kind. You enter a realm of spirit, of sight and sound and mind. Your radio is a cosmic doorway and your psyche begins to spark. When you tune in to Gary and the Sun and Night Dreams After Dark.
If you would like to hear Night Dreams Talk Radio on your local radio station, let them know. Tell them to check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. And thank you.
You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark with our host, Gary Anderson.
And here I am on a Friday. The week has just gone by so freaking fast, James. It's crazy.
It has gone by fast, and this week for me here, it's went from summer to winter in one night. So it's winter now all the time, and trying to get used to that. It's a shock.
Well, I hear you're going to get actually real cold weather here starting next week, and I guess even maybe they're talking about snow.
Yeah, come Mondays, I think the high here is going to be 17 degrees, and that's not counting the wind chill, which usually drops at another 5 or 10. And chance of snow. So yeah, you guessed it right. You ought to be my weatherman.
Well, pay me a few bucks and I will be. You know what they do? They take 10 people, and each person has 10 points. So that's how they get the percentage of the weather. So if it's 100% chance of rain, that means all 10 people, point up in the sky, and that means rain. If only half of them, that means there's a 50% chance. So that's how they do it. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
And if you believe me, I also got the Brooklyn Bridge for you at a good sale price.
I know one time me and a couple exes back, we was out riding the bikes because we watched the Weather Channel. It said 5% chance of rain. So it was, hey, it's nice out and 5% chance of rain. Let's take a couple mile bike ride down to the park, And so we get halfway there, and it just starts unloading, pouring down rain, and we're all huddled up underneath this little piece of joint, little awning there. And I said, well, I guess we're getting 100% of the 5% today because we was getting nailed. Yeah, they don't know what they're saying.
I know. At McDonald's, a guy goes into McDonald's, goes through the drive-through window, and he orders a sweet tea with extra lemon in it. That's what he tells him. And then the guy gets high as a kite. Well, the police, when they investigated, found out it had 3 bags of weed in his cup. And they figured the word extra lemon meant marijuana. So somebody in this McDonald's was, pushing drugs.
That's one way to get nailed, isn't it? Jeez. That reminds me of the old story of the ice cream man. A little ice cream truck come up, and you order a certain ice cream, and you get a little special ice cream, so to speak.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you get the wrong people getting it, and it's causing a lot of problems.
Well, a woman was running up a trail in Texas and ends up getting a bad case of eye worms. Now, this is normally, what they find in cattle, and it's only been of like 2 people known in humans that ever got it.
Oh my goodness! I read something about that. That's because I tell you what, that sends chills up my spine right there. Because imagine looking in the mirror and you feel like your eyes weird and all this stuff. You got worms in there. Ugh.
I don't know. I tell you what, the wacky news is really wacky tonight. A university accepts peanut butter and jelly as payment for parking tickets.
Who does?
Well, it's the University of Alaska in Anchorage.
Oh, okay.
They, if you get a fine, they'll accept peanut butter and jelly as payment for your ticket.
Well, I guess somebody there's got a hankering for peanut butter and jelly. Geez, I've never heard someone trading food for a ticket. Oh my goodness, what's the world coming to? I guess maybe they got a shortage up there in Alaska.
Oh,
But,
yeah. Something.
They're trying to come up with ways to get it.
Well, somebody there in the enforcement section of that university must really love peanut butter and jam. You know, for years, people were taking like Mentos and dropping it into like Diet Coke, and it would, just like explode in a big, fizz and spray everywhere. Well, now there's a better one. You take Coke and butane, and I'll tell you what, you get an explosion like you wouldn't believe.
Wow. Well, I know Coca-Cola is very volatile anyway. Heck, we used to use it to clean the grease off the bench from working on cars and stuff. So that stuff's no joke sometimes. And if you mix it with the right stuff, like that right there, the Mentos or whatever you were talking about, look out. That reminds me when we was kids, we'd get those, I forget what it is, that stuff that fuzzes in your mouth, and little Pop Rocks, I think it is. And we'd put it in with that and shake it up and all kind of craziness. But yeah, people got too much time on their hand, Gary. They're coming up with all kind of strange plans, ideas.
Well, yeah, remember we were talking about Twinkies? They last forever.
Yeah, they do.
Well, the University of Maine has, a Twinkie that's been on display for 43 years.
Wow, I am telling you, Twinkies will survive a nuclear holocaust. When it's all said and done and the dust is settled, there will be a Twinkie glistening in the sun waiting for you to eat. It might be like a sponge, but it'll be there.
I don't know. The original company went bankrupt, and then they sold their rights off to another, bakery company. And I noticed they don't quite taste the same. Have you, tasted like, their Hostess cupcakes and Twinkies? It don't quite have the same taste as it originally did. Or is that just my imagination from getting older?
No, you got a point there, because I'll be honest with you, I haven't ate none of those King Kongs, Ding Dongs, Ho-Hos, or any of that kind of stuff for, I don't know, 5, 8, 10 years, because last time I did, you just touched on it. It's changed. There's something different about it. I think there's so much preservatives in it right now that it's made to sit on a shelf for years. I really believe that. So if you got something that can sit on the shelf for years, the freshness, it just doesn't taste good to me. At least it don't to me. It's like some of that, it's just not very good. And I think you're right. And I think that's what's happened. They went more for the longevity of it, a shelf life, more than a quality of the taste.
Oh, yeah. But I don't know. I would be really scared to eat a Twinkie that's been sitting, let alone a year, but 43 years. I'm surprised somebody hasn't broken into their display and stole it and tried it to see what it tasted like.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't want to taste that. I didn't like Twinkies when I was a kid, when they only had like maybe a 50-year lifespan compared to like they'll last forever now. But I remember they were like rubber then. I didn't. No, I'm good with that stuff. I'll take my Frosted Flakes, thank you.
Well, in Ireland, there is a huge waterfall called the Cliffs of the Mortar. And they had a big windstorm. And it caused instead of the waterfall dropping down, it went up.
Wow. Now that would be mind-blowing to see a waterfall going up. I've seen one of those one time. It was in, I think, Brazil or Colombia somewhere. And it was such an updraft. The water was actually going up, which was weird. I couldn't. So just the visual on that would stop you in your tracks. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's something strange there, buddy.
Oh,
imagine seeing that and going up. You see a waterfall going up. It's weird.
I forgot about the show link. You know that. So when you start in a couple minutes doing your thing, I'll go ahead and put the link up for the show. I totally forgot about it. Anyway.
I sent you a message.
I know. I just got it. Thank you. I mean, I'm getting senile. But you know what? In Japan, a snow crab auctioned off for a record. You ready for this? $46,000 US.
What the heck? That's an expensive crab, man. what was it? The size of an aircraft carrier? I mean, what the heck? And not only to mention that, it's probably got some of that nuclear waste in it too. Oh boy, that's outrageous. That's just outrageous. I like snow crab and all, but I'm not going to pay a house for one.
I don't know. $46,000 for snow crabs are very rare. You know that.
Well, yeah, they are. They're big. Aren't those the ones that get real big too?
This one was a 2.5 pounder.
Oh, that's not big at all. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of spider crabs, but even the snow crabs, I know they get way bigger than that. But for $46,000, that sounds like something that somebody's had in a cage and it's purebred and they got papers for it and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Well,
I'm curious.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just curious to know what made it bring that kind of money. That just got me wondering now.
Well, the last one sold for $28,000.
This is almost double. I mean, they must be really rare now, I guess.
I have no idea. I'm going to have to research it after the show's over because I find that totally crazy. You in a restaurant bought it, and I don't know how much they're going to charge when they mark it up, but $46,000 for a crab? Is this crab going to taste any different than any other crab? But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does.
No, these are good points you bring up. Same things I'm thinking of, and maybe it's one of them restaurants that just to come in their doors they charge you $50, and just a glass of water they charge you $50. Maybe it's just one of those, and they thought it was a steal at $46,000. They probably figured they'd double their money on it. I don't know, but it's weird. Well,
I think it's really bizarre. But anyway, what do you have in news here tonight?
I got all kind of little things. There's one thing that happened. Cell phone users were hit with a wave of mysterious text from unknown people. I guess that a couple of days ago, there was a glitch in the system somewhere along the line, and everybody was getting these texts from all over, from nowhere. So that's got people thinking, and that's got me thinking. Is it somebody messing with us? Somebody tapping in? It makes you think about these things. You think you're private on these phones, but you're really not.
Yeah, but the message was dated for February. Have you noticed that?
No, I didn't get that far. It just came on. It sounded intriguing, so I just thought I'd start reading it. But yeah, no, I didn't see the date that came in on it. But yeah, that is. I know one thing. I freak out when I get any text, much less get one that's something like that. I'd be like, what the? That reminds me of people that. And I've known a couple of people, I've come across in a couple of cases, they've gotten phone calls from from family members that have passed. And they don't even have a phone no more, but it'd be their number come up and they're calling them or text them. And, are they really calling from the grave, or how is that even possible? How are they even calling or texting them?
Yeah, I find it really interesting, but, wow. But I thought it was, because I read the same article, and the people just got it. But the part is, it was dated for February. So you figure that one out. That is really crazy.
Yeah, that's even more weird. Jeez. Well, also another thing, a driver films a rotating disc while stuck in traffic. Now, let's see. It was in U.S. Route 74 in Shelby, North Carolina on October 25th. When he spotted something unusual. He was stuck in traffic, looked over, and there was a disc. Let's see if it tells if he describes it a little bit, but it shows a little video, but that's kind of similar. It doesn't really say much, but it's kind of similar to the person that was in Las Vegas, last, 3 weeks ago. They were stuck in traffic, too, and happened to look over and spotted a disc. Well, no, that was a cigar shape on that one. Also down there in Carolina, a month ago was all them mystery lights out over the ocean. I don't know if you recall that one. But there's been a lot going on in the Carolina area lately. I've noticed that, too. Also, biologists, parasites living in humans can cause a zombie apocalypse. Now, think about that for a minute. How would you like to know that you're walking around with parasites in you,